Hi, hello, hey. Sorry this video took so long, but in this video I'm just going to be showing you the paintings and stuff I've been working on the past couple of months. And yeah, fun fact, I got a new editing app halfway through editing this video, so if anyone wants to play a game of when did she start editing on her new editing app, feel free. Okay, so I've been working on some paintings, and right now I'm working on these acrylic wash paintings. I literally haven't used acrylic wash in a year. I think last time I used it was for this video where I was painting on wood, but I've been painting on canvas, which is funny. I haven't actually painted on canvas like that many times, like just in my life. But yeah, so I did this one. Well, it's not finished yet, so I think I will be finishing this in this video, but you can see the lines like around the silver are kind of rough, so I need to like go over those. And there's a couple just like small things that I want to fix. Yeah, and here's my acrylic wash palette. I put plastic wrap over it to make the paints like dry slower, and they do dry like a little bit slower, so I'd say it's worked. Yeah, and then I have this other one. I don't think it's gonna like fit all in frame, but yeah, so I did finish this one. And I made both the borders all sparkly. Yeah, and then I also have this one. I've been just using like leftover paint to paint random stuff on this. So I might paint over the flowers, but I think this one is gonna be like a portrait, and then I want it to have like fireflies and stuff. I might paint the background blue instead of green. But yeah, so I have these 3 canvases I'm working on. And I want to add some metallic into this one too. Yeah, so I'm going to finish this one. And then I will do something with this. And then also, because, gotta work on like 4 things at once, I've been working on this one. So I don't know if you remember this. I think this was my last video I posted, was me painting this. And I wanted to do it on a bigger piece of paper. It was kind of like a practice painting. So here it is so far. I just sketched it out. I think this one definitely has more like feeling in it, She looks like sadder, which is like actually what I wanted. So I do like her face better. And then I wanted to fix the hair. Her hair didn't really look like water in this one to me, so I'm making her hair a lot straighter. Yeah, and this one's like huge. I probably could have made her like bigger. I made her kind of small, so there's like a lot more clouds in this one. But yeah, so that's that so far. It's totally gonna get in frame. We got 2 new acrylic wash colors. This is gonna be so nice. Like, I have 2 pinks in my acrylic wash right now. I have these 2, and this one, I think the color on it, like they put the wrong sticker on it or something, because this is what it looks like. So I remember when I bought this, I was really scared it wasn't actually pink. Like, after I got out of the art store, I looked at it and I was like, wait a second. But then I opened it and I was like, okay, we're good. I think it has the wrong sticker on it. But yes, these are both like very vibrant pinks, which is nice. But I'm tired of having to mix white into them to make them pastel. So I got this one, and I got like a giant tube of it because this is like a color I use a lot. Well, this one's like super light. Ooh. Well, definitely won't need to mix any more white into that one. And then I also got this purple just for the same reason. This is my other purple. You can see this one's a lot more pastel, so that'll be nice. Oh, that's so pretty. But yeah, I don't want to get like too many acrylic wash colors because I don't use these that often. But I just wanted to get some that were colors that I use a lot. And then I got this brush thing. Yeah, I didn't really need this. But yeah, if I ever need to like paint a whole watercolor background, this would be nice. Maybe I'll use it on the cloud painting. I think that would probably be nice for painting the sky and stuff. And then technically, I got this when I got the canvases. Like these ones, I got this at the same time because it was in the clearance section for $5 at Michael. And mixed media is like my favorite type of paper. But yeah, like It's so thick, so I'm really excited to use this, but I've been working on my paintings, so I haven't used this yet, but I'm excited. And then the last thing I got are 2 giant wooden canvases. I mean, I don't know if you'd call this a canvas if it's wood, but giant wooden things to paint on. Wooden panel, that's what it's called. Yeah, so this one has like bark on the side, so I have a cool idea with this. I think I'm gonna try to like make this like a tree, you know? I'll paint some branches on it. And then this one is just plain. Mostly, I didn't hate it when I did these 2 paintings, but I normally don't like painting on canvas. I prefer painting on wood. I'm using gouache. So I decided I wanted to do another gouache painting. And then when I saw the one with the bark, I was like, maybe I'll do 2 more gouache paintings. But yeah, so I'm gonna use these and I'm excited because I like painting on wood. Yeah, so that's my little haul. I'm excited to paint on some wood, but for today, I'm going to finish this painting. Honestly, this and that painting I just showed, I think are my most like fun I've had painting on canvases. Pretty much every other time I've like painted on canvas, I've been like, stupid canvas, this is the worst. But actually I enjoyed it this time. So I got some fun behind the scenes facts for you. First, I think I filmed this part of the video almost like 2 months ago. So I do not really remember what I'm doing and what I was thinking when I was doing this. Secondly, on my new editing app, it's pretty much the same as my old one, but I think the audio sound is different. On my other one and on this one, you can like turn like the volume up on like the videos that you're editing. So if like my talking is really quiet, I can like make it louder, which is what I usually do. But on this one, I don't think I can turn it up as much. And I did the intro and the outro like last when editing and filming this video. And so the intro and the outro I edited on the new app, and I think the audio was like really quiet compared to all the other sections of this video, but I can't really turn it up as much, so I think it's just quiet, which is kind of annoying because I don't think I can fix that. But you know, maybe for people watching it's not noticeable, hopefully. Oh, I do remember for this part, I did the highlights with the light pink color, and I thought it looked pretty cool. But yeah, pink highlights on like a medium to dark skin tone just like really pops, and I really like it. I also decided to add some more pink to it, just, you know, because I felt like it. I think I thought it needed like some more stuff or something. So I added these like pink circles, which don't really make sense, but I just did it. And then I added some pink streaks in her hair. And the whole time I was painting this, I was thinking about Minty from My Little Pony. And then I looked her up because I was like, did I just copy her colors? But her colors are slightly different. Like she has a mint skin tone and pink hair. But when I was painting this, I was like, does she have mint hair? I couldn't remember. But yeah, her colors are pretty different. But I like Minty from My Little Pony. She has like a very similar color scheme, just like the mint and the pink and the white. And when I think of winter, I always think of like pastels, like just like white and pink, you know, and like light blue. And so that's why I went with that color scheme for this drawing. It's very cutesy winter. And now I'm adding another layer on the snowflakes. I think I ended up doing like 3 layers or something on them. I also remember my white paint tube was really messed up. Luckily I have a second one, but this one is like my acrylic gouache white, and somehow it had like the paint had hardened towards like the opening of the tube, but it was still like soft in like the top of it. So I cut it in half and realized there was still usable paint in there. And I actually ended up scooping it out and putting it into like a little container. But I guess that's after this video, because the video it's still in its little tube. But I ended up scooping the paint out, and we'll see how long that lasts before it dries out. So I feel like I'm not going to use it on time. Now I'm just adding one more layer on the silver border, and here's the finished painting. I think this one turned out super cute, and I think it's definitely my favorite acrylic gouache painting I've done. And here's a close-up on her eyes. I think her eyes turned out really cute too. And now we're on to the next painting. So I'm showing the little practice sketch I did in my sketchbook, and then here's the big one. It's so funny to me, I accidentally drew them the same size when I meant to draw the second one bigger. And for this one, I'm using watercolors. So this was a medium I'm a lot more familiar with. And I'm still using my watercolors that I got when I was in Alaska. The color scheme is just so perfect for this painting. And I'm also using a couple of Daniel Smith colors. And now I'm lightening the sketch. The sketch for this one ended up being way too dark, so I had to do some moves, but I'll talk about that later. Mostly for the filming on this one, I filmed me doing the face. I was actually thinking of editing me painting the face as like a short and posting it there too, as well as in this video, but I'm not sure if I'm still gonna do that. Probably not, because I actually did a lot more stuff like off camera later, but I guess I'll talk about it when we get there. Actually, no, I think I did film it, but I don't think I'm gonna post it as a short. This one, I kept trying to make it look all like aesthetic when I was filming, and it kind of did not turn out. Like, I tried to use my giant brush that I got to paint the background, and like my paint palette wasn't really big enough to dip it all the way in the paint, so it just got all streaky. It didn't really look all cute like I wanted it to. So I ended up just using a normal paintbrush like I always do, but I tried. You know, maybe I'll try to use that giant paintbrush again next time. Also, this painting is definitely one of those paintings where I like made up the lighting and color scheme. Like, I didn't have a reference photo for this, I just made it up. I really like drawing like sunsets and like sunrises because there's all like the different colors. But yeah, I don't look up a reference photo, I just make up the color. So this probably isn't very realistic, but I really like the color scheme. I think it turned out pretty, but I doubt it makes much sense. Yeah, so for this part, I'm just like putting random colors in random spots, mostly pink, blue, and yellow. And now we're back to the face. So with the face, I decided to shade it more with purple, and I think I shaded her hair more with pink to try to make the colors look like a little bit different from each other, but I don't really think it made a huge difference. Also, when I was working on this piece, I kept telling myself, light and airy, don't use too much pigment. You want it to look very nice, you know? I normally like to go crazy with the watercolor layers and layer up as much like saturation as I can, but for this one, I was like, nope, we're gonna make it look very nice and pastel. Do not go too far, which I had to fix later because I did mess that up. But I think the finished piece turned out good. I am glad I got a good video though of showing how I paint faces. Seeing how people paint faces is my favorite part of watching art videos. So, you know, I'm happy I got a good one for me. You know, that's nice. Yes, you can see here the colors were looking like not very light and airy, and the sketch was really dark. And I was kind of hating it. So I put this painting away, and then I came back and was like, no, I'm fixing this. So I ended up taking my acrylic gouache, which is now not in the tube. I put it in a little jar, but I'm showing the other tube I have just so you can see that's the acrylic gouache. And yeah, I painted over the whole thing, but I mixed it with water so it's not opaque. And I've seen other people do this move before, and I definitely do this move a lot. But basically, I'm just adding little translucent like layers until I like it, and then I'm going to paint over it. And I actually wasn't sure if I could paint over this, but it turned out that I could paint over this with watercolor. I wasn't sure it was going to work out. So I ended up just painting over like this with, and just doing like a light purple like line art, and I didn't really add any other shading, and then that ended up working. And I think I did that for the clouds too, to make the clouds more translucent. And now I'm taking it off the watercolor block. And sorry for the bad angle. And here she is. Now I'm going to add the date on the back. And actually this was like weeks after I finished it, and I did not know what day that I finished this. So I was sitting there like, what? I don't know when I finished this. So I kind of just made up a date. That's probably close. And yeah, here is the finished painting. I think it looks very nice and light and airy. And I didn't film it, but I did add some whitewash highlights as I normally do. And I also added some pretty gold stars, which I think is a really nice touch. I think the gold stars are like my favorite part. But yeah, every couple years I attempt to do a new sunset painting, and I think this one's definitely my favorite. I think it looks so pretty. I finally finished this video. You don't even know this video. I kept forgetting about its existence, which probably didn't help it taking so long. But yeah, fun fact, a lot of things happened during the making of this video. Like I said, I had to get a new editing app because my storage got full, and it was my editing app was taking up all of my phone storage. And it wasn't even like the videos that I had edited on that was taking up phone storage, it was just the app in general. So I got a new one, and it's like kind of the same, but yeah, so I edited this video on a new app. And I also painted my room while working on this video, and then I moved all the furniture in here stuff, so I didn't use the art room for a while. And then after that I was working on Inktober, so if you want to see my Inktober drawings, I actually think they're pretty cool. So they're all on my Instagram if you want to check them out. But yeah, I drew on like gray paper, so it's pretty cool. So I guess that's what I was doing working on this video, and then I kept forgetting about it. Yeah, anyway, here are the paintings, right? You already saw we have this one. Oh, you can see how like metallic it is, you know? And we also got this gigantic one, pretty big for me. In this video, I worked on this video for so long, I almost finished this one. She's like 90% done, I'd say. Anyway, hopefully for my next video, it won't take me so long to make it. My birthday just happened and I got some new art supplies, so I want to use some new art supplies in a video soon. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all the catching up. See you in the next one. Bye.